Oh, hi there. Welcome to the third episode of the Book Coven. I'm Chelsea.
I'm Lillian.
And thank you for joining us on our third episode of the Book Coven podcast, where we take you through our delightful book club banter with a new book each episode.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Delightful.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully. This week was my choice, and it was The Hunger by Alma Katsu.
Mm-hmm.
I love this book.
It was amazing.
Damn good book.
Best one out of the three we've picked so far.
Yeah,
for this.
I think I liked it. Yeah, I think it was my favorite. So this book was a retelling of a historical event, but told with a supernatural twist. Mm-hmm. So it was based on the Donner Reed Wagon Party, who were a group of American pioneers in 1846, who set out for California on a wagon train. Delayed by a series of mishaps and mistakes, they spent the winter snowbound in the Sierra Nevada, and some of them resorted to cannibalism to survive. Of the 87 members of the party, only 48 survived to reach California, and what was meant to be only a 4 to 6 month trip turned out to be around 10 months. And the main cause for the Donner Reed Party's demise was their choice of taking the Hastings Cutoff on their trip to California. Yeah. So this was a new, supposedly better route to take than the traditional trail, even though it added 240 kilometers to their journey.
Always stick to the trail.
Always.
That's been tested. You guys.
They haven't watched movies.
Rookie mistake.
So Lansford Hastings discovered the trail and convinced immigrants to take it, saying that he would lead them through. But when the Donner Party got there, he had already left to guide another group.
Typical.
Right?
Typical.
Some members of the party scouted ahead while others waited at Fort Bridger. Jim Bridger was the owner of the fort, knew he fared better, obviously, if people used the Hastings Cutoff, since they'd have to stop at his post. Mm-hmm. And so he told them it was a smooth trip and it would lessen their journey by 560 kilometers.
Won't die at all.
But
I swear,
that's a little selfish.
You'll be good. Yeah.
Yeah, don't worry, guys. It's fine.
Well, I mean, look at the state of his place. I can't blame him.
It's shit. He needs money. People help him.
I understand it. Dick move, but...
Yeah. But within days of actually taking this path, they found terrain much more difficult than described, and they had to travel much slower than expected. A small group of men ended up traveling ahead to find Hastings. They found there was much more difficult terrain ahead, and Hastings suggested they forge their own route in a direction he was expecting to be easier. Because,
this guy.
No one's ever been there before, but you go right ahead. And remember, I'm reading the real life shit right now. Like, this is the stuff that actually happened that the book was based on. So that's just beautiful. And at Reed's urging, they chose the new route, and their progress slowed to about 1.5 miles per day. And that's with their ox and their wagons. Mm-hmm. The men would have to clear brush and fell trees to get space big enough for the wagons to pass. So that's why it was so slow. And as expected, fighting over who was in charge broke out. Supplies and food began to run low, and people began to split up to scout ahead. The Donner wagon fell behind as they made attempts to pass the mountain when an axle broke on one of their wagons. Both groups were forced to make camp to wait out the winter, because it ended up being an early winter. Mm-hmm. They were expecting it for the snow to come, I think, mid-November, but it ended up early October.
Yeah, came fast and hard.
Fast and hard, just the way they wanted it. Hunger grew and the ox even began to die of starvation. Once the mountain party's health began to decline even more, Franklin Graves fashioned 14 pairs of snowshoes and a party set out on foot. Many people died in the coming days. The snowshoe party traveled for days before Patrick Donner proposed that someone should volunteer themselves up as food for the others.
Oh, me.
They ended up agreeing. Yeah, right? They ended up agreeing to eat whoever died naturally first.
Good guys, that's fair.
Which makes more sense, I guess. But even still, having to be like, it's okay, whoever dies, we'll just eat you. It's still a tough call to make. You got to be in such a desperate situation to make that call. We'll eat you when you die.
Well, they were out there for days, so.
Yeah, they were. Once a few people died, they began to eat and store the flesh. So they still didn't even eat the first person once they died because they were just freaking the fuck out about it. After more time, William Foster ended up shooting Eddie and Mary Graves, believing that eating them was their only chance for survival.
Oh,
so
my
that's nice.
God.
How do you choose who you're going to kill to eat? I mean...
Just point at someone. Definitely. You'll do.
Well, it's not me, so bang, bang.
Whoever's the fattest, I guess.
There was no one at that point.
Oh, yeah, they're all
right?
like
It had
skeletons.
been months. It had been months, and they were all starving.
They're just crazy. They'll eat whoever, whatever.
They will, yeah. Well, finally, on February 18th, the rescue party found the makeshift cabins that the group had holed up in for the winter, and most were rescued. The others had to wait for a second relief party on March 1st and a third relief on March 14th. So a lot of this book was actually quite accurate with how the events actually played out, which was cool, because then when I actually went to read the full history that I just gave you now, a lot of it was quite similar. Just obviously, you've got the wicked monsters.
Yes, added some. I was reading an interview she did for that, and she said she based it off like a Wendigo. It wasn't like one specific creature. It's like a whole bunch. She created something new.
No, it makes sense because reading the book, I couldn't pinpoint what it was. Like even
It's kind of like a Wendigo. It's like a person they describe it as like a disease, and you have an uncontrollable hunger for human flesh. And like they looked human, but they had sharp teeth and fast reflexes.
Yeah, I think like 100 pages in, I remember like writing down zombies ? Because I'm like, is it just going to be a zombie book? But then them turning into the monsters was cool.
I like that was a new thing.
Yeah,
I thought it was just going to be a run-of-the-mill Wendigo.
Yep. Which are still cool too.
Very exciting.
Definitely wouldn't have been disappointed if it was just a Wendigo. I mean, just a Wendigo.
Just a Wendigo. Done with this book.
Yeah. Well, and all the characters she used, I think she only added a few new people, but she used all the people, all their real names.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if their backstories were accurate. I didn't.
Probably
not.
not.
I doubt it.
Yeah, she said she
went real in depth with those backstories.
Because how could you know
Yeah.
that much?
Yeah, they didn't write that much.
Was James Reed gay in real life?
No. So, well, I mean, I don't know.
He probably.
He could have been. But he did get banished in real life, but it was because he killed Snyder.
Okay.
But he didn't kill Snyder because he was about to out his secret. He killed Snyder because Snyder was like whipping one of the oxes out of rage.
Oh.
And when he tried to intervene, he started whipping him as well. So he just stabbed him.
Oh.
I mean, you turn a whip on a man, right?
Yeah.
Shank.
Oh, man.
So he did get banished, but he ended up being the one to save everybody.
Save the
in
day.
end.
I
Fuck
knew
you
he'd
guys.
be back.
Yeah.
Fucking knew
That's
it.
not the end of him, and I'm glad.
He was my favorite character.
Oh, really?
James.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I think
I liked him,
Yeah.
Mary, and Tamsin.
I liked Mary. I think my favorite was Stanton.
He was, He...
Genuinely helpful, genuinely nice, and like he felt like uncomfortable being called trustworthy. He was just like, I don't think I should be trusted. It just seemed so depressing.
I definitely liked him, but the other ones stood out more for me.
Yeah.
Although when he died, spoiler alert, it was hard.
Yeah, that was
a rough one.
I like read it over and over again too because it was so beautiful.
All the characters, she did a really good job. You care about a lot of
did.
them.
Yeah.
And like you said, most of them die.
Yeah.
And
Shit.
it's really rough. She's very descriptive.
Yeah. Very good though. I never like all the characters like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like them.
Yeah, and it wasn't just the monsters. There was a girl that could hear ghosts.
Yeah, exactly.
Tamsin wasn't a witch, but she was into. I guess she was basically a Wiccan.
Yeah. Well, and she liked using plants as herbs and
Yeah.
She's
She
a
just
hippie.
wasn't. She said early in the book, like, guys, I'm not actually a witch. I can't really.
Just because I'm pretty.
Always in the 1800s.
You lure men to
Long
your
hair,
home. She just
attractive.
likes
That's
sex.
a witch. That there's a witch.
All right, what are you gathering those plants for? Medicine? Witch, hang her!
Oh, I felt so bad for her.
I know, yeah.
She lasted much longer than I thought she would.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
I thought
I thought someone would be after her, and I thought they would like gang hang her or something.
I'm glad it wasn't her. Yeah. I never got the vibe it was going to be her all along. I figured one of them would have something to do with it. Fucking Lewis. Didn't think it would be him.
Surprise.
Yeah, he didn't cause all of it, but his bloodline.
So it was his uncle, right? Yeah. His uncle was traveling with a group of prospectors, I think 6 years prior.
Yep.
And that's when shit hit the fan. And I loved getting into his backstory in the book, finally, and hearing that, like, he had actually tried human flesh before, like when he was younger, and he liked it. And that's what his uncle was talking about all along, that there's this thing inside of us. We're monsters. Like, that's who we are. And he wasn't kidding.
I know.
So did he...
Actual monster.
Is it the uncle that just lashed out when they were traveling?
Yeah, I saw... It must have been him. He must have, I guess, bitten someone?
Maybe got into a fight or...
Is that how it... Because the monsters, it's different with the carriers. They can function as normal humans. Yeah, so I guess he would have tried to eat someone. Yeah, and maybe, they shot him.
Yeah.
And then, oops.
And now I'm changed. And now I scratch you. And vicious cycle.
When did they learn about the prospectors? How they, like the entire group? Or was it just the two
I think it might have just been Bryant who learned about the prospectors at first. Because he was the one who found the prospector camp, and then he found the pack that said Kesberg on it.
Yeah.
And that's when he knew it was his uncle.
Yeah, I can't remember if at any point anyone else in the party knows about the prospectors, because if they did, they weren't that far into crossing yet. He should have said something.
No.
Guys.
He was there because he knew he'd get to unleash his monster inside, probably.
Oh,
well, he was trying to run away from it, but he ended up just eating people. Like, great.
You know what, in his flashbacks, I wouldn't say I liked him. I didn't mind him. I get it. He has a crazy flesh monster disease. Sure.
Apparently.
And he tried not to eat it. He really tried, guys.
It actually seems like he was trying.
He only ate someone when they were starving.
But he was an asshole all the time.
Oh, as in, like, the
touching
present day?
the girls.
Yeah,
and,
present day,
like,
I hated him.
He's a monster.
Yeah.
He was a terrible person. But yeah, when you see when you get to the flashbacks and stuff, you start to kind of feel for him, just because he seems like he really doesn't want to be that person. So at least he knows, like, he is aware of the problem. That's the first step to fixing it.
Did he have kids in the book?
No.
I know
he had a wife who didn't talk because, obviously, I wouldn't fucking talk. Bad asshole. I don't know.
What do you say when your husband eats people in the night?
Right?
Do you think she ever woke up and he was gnawing on her leg?
Oh, not again, honey. I'm going in the guest room.
So I was going to say, if he had
in the guest
kids
cabin,
with him, then you got a whole bunch of other little cannibals.
No, that's true. Fuck, I can't remember. In the real life story, they have kids. But, yeah, I'm not sure.
No.
I don't.
Wendigo disease?
We'll find out. I guess before we dive in further, let's talk about our little pairing here. Mm-hmm. We've got whiskey today.
Whiskey.
Writer's Tears. It's an Irish whiskey. It is so good. Because all they drank in the book was freaking whiskey. So, cheers. Cheers. Come on.
Cheers. Sorry, I went early. Oh, my.
I like it.
That's good, yeah. It's smooth.
It's a sipping whiskey. Yeah. Not a mixer.
I drank that weird.
Oh, good.
That was a mistake.
Oh, good.
That went somewhere it wasn't supposed to.
Summersby. Down with cider. Or with our food pairing of a nice blondie skull and bones massacre.
Yep.
Which
is hard as rock.
It looks delicious.
If anyone has ever made a blondie, please help me, because I made a mistake. It's still edible.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. I had some. It's not bad. Excellent. It's a bit hard on the edges.
Oh, it looks
But
good.
you know what? In the book, they ate leather clothing.
Oh, there you go. We've got
So,
leather blondies.
Yes, tied in it.
Yeah, perfect. And it's
It
like a
was
prairie
intentional,
with all the dead people on it.
Oh yeah, I covered
Excellent.
I tried to make brown frosting. It came out bright orange.
Yeah, it looks a little Halloweeny, but that's cool.
And then, but it's okay because I covered it
Do you
with.
make brown? Just mix all the colors.
I got copper,
Oh, okay.
and it looked brown, but that fucking happened.
because you're mixing it with white icing.
Yeah.
I feel like I've made brown. No, gray. Made like gray by accident when you just mix too much shit colors together.
Yeah. Whatever. I put some sprinkles
It
on
works.
it, and there's some adorable skull and bone sprinkles that are covered in blood.
Cute.
Yeah, and then I cover that in blood.
There you go. I made pumpkin spice cupcakes and lemon zest cupcakes with some brains and hands and shit on
You
them.
guys, these brains, we'll post pictures. They're cute.
Yes. They'll be on Instagram. You can see some brains.
How did you
I had to
get it?
make the fucking white chocolate because it's impossible to find a dairy-free white chocolate.
When you like colored it, because it's lighter and then it gets darker. How'd
Yeah,
you
it's
do
got a
that?
gradient. That was a little accidental. The chocolate started separating. Brandon said that too. He's like, wow, the gradient, it makes it look so real.
Yeah,
and I'm
so
like,
on
yes,
purpose."
excellent.
Yeah.
I am pro chef.
On you got some hands, some skulls,
Some hands, yeah.
tombstones.
Tombstones. It's all good. Made
Homemade
way too much chocolate.
chocolate.
Yeah.
There's never too much chocolate. Just throw them at the kids.
Apparently it's
outside.
very sweet, so it's definitely too much chocolate. Oh, God. Oh, well. Well, we'll eat them later, and we'll tell you if they're
Yeah.
actually good.
We can't complain about food. Okay, we've never had to eat people to survive.
Ooh, that is true.
Yes,
Or is
Chelsea. What did you do?
deep-seated secrets right in here.
I read a story once. A guy had his foot amputated, and then had some friends over, and they made tacos
Oh, my God.
with it.
Yes. Yeah.
Apparently, it tastes. He said something like it was like beef or something. So,
But I think it's, like, rubbery.
yeah,
I'm pretty
I can
sure I've
imagine.
heard that description before, that it's just extra rubbery.
If you're gonna eat a person, where would you start?
I mean, I don't eat meat, so I wouldn't eat
Oh shit! Yeah, you just die up there, guys. I'm a vegan. I can't.
I can't.
Just leave me in the snow. It's fine. You guys can eat me.
Yeah. I don't want to travel anyway. It's fucking hard. It's too hard.
Oh yeah, I would have offered to have them eat me. Gotta go up another
I'm done,
hill.
thanks.
Bye.
Yeah. My knees don't do hills, no.
They could get a lot of stores out of me. I've got some
Not
meat
after
here.
5 months of not eating.
Oh yeah, the
Gotta
perfect diet.
remember. Yeah. It's not a good
forgetting.
diet.
Oh, when how he described them when James found
Yeah.
them at the end.
Yeah. It's beautiful.
You could so picture it.
Yeah.
Fucking.
Oh, and the best part, every time anyone was describing someone, it was like their eyes were sunken in, they looked skeletal, but no one ever said that about Kesberg.
Yes.
And then,
How did no one? He
right?
was fine.
No one noticed that, like, this man isn't looking any different.
Yeah.
But then at the end, Tamsin finally was like, "Why the fuck do you look okay?"
This girl, she
Like,
knows.
wait a second. Yeah,
You
she's
listen to the
observant.
witch, man. I don't understand why anyone abandoned her.
Oh, I don't.
She's the only hope you could have.
But because they're scared. They're like, well, obviously the witch is sacrificing children. And Lewis
demon
is
in
just
these
like,
woods.
yes, it is the witch.
When did
Banish
they,
them.
When did they all figure out it wasn't an animal? Was it when they were stuck in the snow?
When they saw them, they only realized it when they were actually seeing them. I think because Tamsin and her daughters saw them in the
those
forest,
ones.
right?
But then,
And no one believed them.
Yeah.
And then I think someone else said that they saw like the creatures
yeah.
and they looked like crazy men. And when Halloran turned, right? Because he got all fucking
That's another
crazy.
thing. Another
that one was
red
sad.
flag. That was because he was so nice and happy for a day.
But I was waiting for it because he had TB the whole time.
Yeah,
it's
he
like he's obviously
spontaneously-
gonna die.
Yeah.
On your travel.
Yeah. There are, I think 3 or 4 of them that had.
Yeah. And
Consumption
then
or-
instead of dying, he just gets better and like
Instantly,
more
they
energy.
should have known.
That's
like,
not no.
Hang
Yeah.
on a minute here.
Wait a second, you're a monster now.
Yeah, and then Aletha, she heard his ghost voice, like, I didn't mean to, I couldn't stop.
Yeah.
I was like,
damn it. Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah. Because he was a nice guy
There were
who
so
liked to
many
play his
that
fiddle for people.
It was really only Lewis and Snyder that I hated.
Yeah.
The rest of them,
but
they
you
did,
were meant to hate them.
Yes. They did some rough things, but they're starving. They're trying to survive. I get it.
And
Lewis was just a
everyone
pedophile.
gets scared. No, he was fucked. But everyone gets scared, right? So they were all scared of each other, and that's why they huddled in their own little camps and shit, because they're like, well, we can't trust you. You can't trust us. Yes. Let's just stay separate for this entire grueling winter.
It'll be fine.
Eat some ox when it goes crazy. That's a good plan, right?
Oh, no, yeah. Yeah, that was another, like, oh, you guys.
Like,
don't eat the sick ox.
He got scratched, like brutally scratched, and now he's like wailing and looks crazy and is like foaming at the mouth. Like, come on, don't put that in your body.
Just cut around it. It's fine.
I like how the Donners are just looking at it like, we're not touching
that's some rough meat, guys.
No. Beautiful.
What's his name? Bryant. Also,
yes.
I liked his little side adventure.
I loved his side adventure
because he delved into like the science behind what was happening. He was trying to investigate like what kind of disease this was, where did it
because he fucking
started.
knew. He's talking to them, and he's like, it's like he was actually getting information from the different tribes and from Tamsin and from the people. Like, he was actually listening rather than just being like, no, you're crazy.
Yeah, he was smart. Yeah, he's like, yeah, I couldn't understand, because so many of them were like, demons in the woods. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. It's like, well, it's not demons.
You can't blame these like isolated Indians for thinking this is a spirit.
Of course.
Like, it's a disease they've never seen before.
Yeah.
And it turns people
they don't look like people anymore. Oh, I wrote down the good description because I thought it was fucking wicked. I loved it. Was like, it was right near the end when Stanton finally sees one, and it was just beautiful.
No, Stanton.
So I'm just gonna read that little clip from him. It smelled like a corpse left too long in the heat, but its fingers were cold and slimy and wet, rotten. He choked on the smell. He tried to throw it off, but he was pinned and too weak to fight. Its mouth seemed to double, its jaw unhinging like that of a snake. He saw teeth sharpened like iron nails, and too many of them, far too many. A long slick of throat, like a dark tunnel, and that horrible tongue slapping like a blind animal feeling for its prey.
Oh, that tongue.
Beautiful. I got chills when I was reading that. Oh, I got goosies when he died though.
Yeah.
Because after that he knew he got bit by him on the calf, right? And then he couldn't get up, and he's just like, I know it's done.
Mary wanted to stay.
Oh, it was so beautiful.
And she just heard the shot.
And I knew, because when she said that he saw him put stuff in his pocket and she couldn't tell what it was, I'm like, oh fuck, is he dying soon?
Yeah.
And he brought a gun, and then he waited for them to be long enough out of sight. Oh my god. Good guy. Yeah, that was sad.
Yeah, as soon as he ran off from the crowd, I knew, like,
never do that.
That was early in the book. I thought he would be, like, one of the last survivors.
Like, right at the, like, you think that instead of Tamsin finding Lewis with the bodies, it'd be him or something.
I was really gunning for Mary and him. The whole past, he couldn't forgive himself for what happened to that girl, which wasn't his fault at all.
No.
And then he finally finds love again, only to be eaten by monsters.
And she finally tells us that it wasn't his fault, like right before he dies, because the whole time you're thinking like, man, he's abandoning this girl he got pregnant, like, because that's how he made it out in the previous like flashbacks, that he abandoned this girl when she got pregnant with his child. No.
Oh, yeah. No. Turns out incest. The dad raped her.
Yeah.
And she killed herself because she couldn't deal with that pregnancy.
No kidding.
Oh my god. And then the guy paid him off. The whole reason he was there is because the stupid dad paid him off to not say anything. Yeah. And he couldn't. He eventually had to pay the dad back, but he couldn't.
Yeah. Well, and he didn't want to say anything because she told him not to tell anyone because she was embarrassed.
Yeah.
Girl, you don't have to be embarrassed. He needs to be embarrassed.
I can tell everyone, man. Yeah, they wouldn't have believed him, though. No. He made a terrible... He took the blame for it.
Yeah.
Right away.
Yeah.
Bad idea.
I know. Should have just killed the dad.
Yes.
Just fucking kill him. What does it matter? It's the 1800s. Who's going to catch you?
So many stories in one book. So good.
So many. Ugh. And there were a lot of foreshadowing events, too. They were tons of little things where you just like, you read it and you're like, that's gonna come back. Like, Stanton had said, I can't remember to who, probably Mary, I don't believe in monsters, only men who behave like them.
Hey.
And that was just like, I was reading that and I'm like, this is a zombie book. Wendigo, whatever.
Never expected Wendigo.
Yeah.
Like the Spanish Inquisition. Just sneak up on you.
Excellent.
I was so happy it was a Wendigo-like creature.
I know.
I love that.
The book was so chilling and so well written.
Oh, and you can like just feel the emptiness that she writes about in the fields and the snow.
Mm-hmm. And I liked that the character development, like with the backstories and everything, all kind of stemmed from each character having a dark secret that they were scared to share. Kind of like how, showing how men can become monsters, because you're kind of like picturing all of them are able to become monsters because they all have this thing they feel guilty about and they're scared of, right? Which I thought was very cool. Like Alytha hearing the ghosts. Yeah. James Reed having an affair with a man behind his wife's back. Tamsin, she was in love with her brother. That was a fucking twist. I was wondering, like, why can't she feel, like, she talked about not being able to feel throughout the book and not knowing, like, wanting to love George, but not being able to, right?
I figured there was another man.
Yeah.
Didn't expect
like,
her brother.
I thought, like, someone had died or whatever, and because she had her other husband, but she said she didn't love him either. Her fucking brother. Yeah. It's fucking weird. Yeah, and then Stanton's thing. And Kesberg's, obviously.
Oh, that was
a good secret. One. And the fact, that he was hiding those letters from Bryant. Mm-hmm. So I was wondering where these letters were all going, because he's leaving them in spots, like as him and Stanton had talked about in the beginning, that travelers would leave letters of warning for each other. So like they kept finding the letters of like, turn back or you'll die.
Yeah.
I mean, guys, turn back or you'll die.
Always turn back.
Turn back or you'll die.
I'm not just saying that.
Trust.
Well, I think Stanton went, at the Bridger outpost, he asked about the letters and they looked at him like, no, they're not here.
Yeah, well, that's because they wanted them to keep going. They're like, you go this way. Follow the Hastings Trail. Fuck you and your Hastings Trail. Jesus Christ.
That's a typical dad move. You're on a car trip, so this guy told me that the other way it's faster, it's better, we'll get there.
No, follow Google.
Then you get eaten by monsters. Yeah. Stick to the trail.
Stick to the fucking trail. Jesus Christ. Oh well, I mean,
they did also leave very late into the travel.
Well,
they were the last party.
They were slow to start. Yeah, they were like the last party because they're expecting winter at like a normal time. But I mean, guys. And then they kept talking about how they were just celebrating constantly.
Yeah,
in the beginning, having big feasts. Yeah. Like right away, it's a cannibalism book. So you're just like, guys, don't do it. You're going to be eating your friends later.
Oh, yeah, James said early on, good guy James, you should really cut back
The reason no one listened to him, though, is because he was like on his high horse when he said, it, we should cut back here. Yeah. We cannot survive this. And I mean,
Yeah, but
they made him out to be kind of like...
See, this is why you need Netflix, because kids these days would know. Pack to prevent cannibalism.
Oh, is that what they know?
Always have a cannibal provision.
I feel like the movies teach us a lot of things. There's a lot of monsters to look out for. Definitely pack enough food. Oh my god. But apparently in the actual historical events too, Lewis
was a dick?
Well, yeah, they did find him. They caught him with a stash of human flesh stored. So he was storing human meat or killing people and storing it and eating that for himself. Oh my god. Like such an asshole.
Share your human flesh.
Yeah, so I mean I like that she made him that bad guy in the book too. Kind of. He felt bad, but he got teary-eyed when he was talking about it at the end.
Yeah. And technically he did save the remaining people.
Yeah, and he was talking about doing that. But I feel like that was less about them and more about him and his pride.
Yeah.
Like, oh, whatever, I saved them. Like, they're eating human, but I mean, it's because
I mean, technically he survived, but they did say in April they were trying to hunt him down. Like, that's how the book starts. There was a sighting of him.
Okay.
And they assumed it was Lewis because they still hadn't found him.
Yeah.
And they went to the cabin, and it was just covered in bones.
Because he had eaten everybody.
Yeah. So I guess he's still out there.
Maybe he joins the wilderness.
Yeah.
And
he just realized, like, oh, I am on this monster.
Well, because when Reed found everybody, they were under the snow, right? Like, everyone had kind of been closed in. Maybe he fled and joined his people.
Yeah, I guess. Because Reed found them in March, I think.
I think so.
And then the book started in April.
Yeah, of the previous year.
Yeah. So, yeah, I guess he was maybe on a hunting party and came back and they're all gone. Like, yeah, it's just us here. There's no one else. Fuck that guy.
No one else. I mean, yeah. Leave him. Fuck it. He's eating everyone. He's killing everyone. Oh my god. That was good though.
I loved it so much.
I did really like Reed.
Yeah. Oh, he's just a nice guy who wants to be gay.
Yeah.
Wants a daddy.
And he married his wife because he knew she was struggling with her children and he wanted to help financially because he knew he could.
He genuinely loved her and his family.
But he also loved the guy he was with until he threatened him and like a dick.
And then Snyder, he's just on the road, started up with that guy and tried to out him.
Just rude. I mean, maybe not worth stabbing, but
yeah, I should have stood up like, well, in the 1800s, yes, it's worth stabbing.
If you're all gonna die anyway.
If he stood up like, guys, I'm gay, like, he's the monster in the woods.
He's the one killing all. Oh, because it was like little boys going missing. Yeah. Okay. I mean, just because you're gay doesn't mean you're fucking pedo.
It's 1846.
Right? Fucking assholes. Poor Reed just wanted to be himself.
I know. He's into like choking and stuff too.
Okay, I missed that.
He said at one point he was describing his hands and having them like around his neck.
Oh yeah, he liked his hands.
Yeah.
Fucking
this
Reed.
Guy. Just let him get choked.
Just tell your wife.
Oh, I'm sure. You know what? I'm sure the wife knows, and she's just like, yeah.
She
whatever.
Honestly probably because she knew that they weren't in love.
He's taking care of us. He
No, exactly. That's why they were married.
He
so
can get
she
choked
could be
in a
taken
bar.
care.
I don't give a fuck. He's paying for my stuff. He's a nice guy. Whatevs.
She'd love him anyway.
Yeah. He was. I'm gonna be salty about that forever. Poor James.
He lived. It's okay.
I know.
He ended up being the hero. Saved his family.
Yeah. Actually, I guess it's a blessing that he got kicked out because all the monsters are with him.
Yeah, I was really sad when he got kicked out, though.
Yeah.
And they thought he died.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be like Mary.
Yeah.
Which just wanders off and dies.
But then when he first got back, the first person he saw, right, was Virginia, his daughter. Mm-hmm. So that's nice. That's beautiful.
Oh, I loved when he came back. Mm-hmm. As soon as they said his name, I was like, James!
You could do it.
God.
You can do it. And I like what he said at the end. So awesome. Oh, that he finally said he did understand what love was.
Yeah.
And like right as he reached out for his daughter's hand to pull her up, so I do understand what love is. Because that was the question that it seemed like everyone had throughout the whole book. Tamsin loving her brother and not loving George, and Stanton not knowing if he can love Mary because he still feels guilty about, was it Lydia?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then obviously Reed not knowing if he can love his family while also being gay. Mm-hmm. And finally he found love.
Did his wife survive? Or just the kids?
I think so.
I hope so. I hope they just went off. You guys.
Someone
needs a happy ending.
I know. Yeah, that was a beautiful ending. It was a beautiful book. So recommend. Mm-hmm. So recommend. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10.
Yeah, like it's chilling, but not scary. Just
you get like it gives you chills.
Goosebumps.
It was so chilling.
Such description about ripping into people.
Oh my god, her descriptions were so damn cool.
Yeah.
Her description of the monster, the fact that Oh, they keep talking about like how the monsters smell, like they can smell the rotting flesh and everything. But then anytime people went near Lewis, they were like, he smells like rot. Like he smelled too.
Put it together.
Put it together. I'm reading it and I'm putting it together. Like, why does he smell? Why is he this way?
Lewis.
Something wrong with him. Great book.
Guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, read it. Read it.
Fucking tell your friends to read it. It's good.
Gonna be a movie soon.
Oh, right.
Rights were picked up for
exciting.
it. Yeah.
That's so exciting. So her version of like this book, right? A movie? Not just the Donna Reed.
No, there's a bunch of those. Yeah, it's her version of it.
Awesome.
That's you know what? Exciting. That's nothing. I feel like she doesn't offend what actually happened.
No, exactly. Because we going through that description at the beginning, right? She like
it's the same thing basically, just with a touch of monsters.
Monsters, yeah, because they were already eating each other. Like the snowshoe party was eating each other.
Yeah, even if she wrote a book that was just the historical account of it, it would still be
because I was reading through that and I'm just like, damn, like fuck, these guys really they laid into each other. They fucking ate each other. I was expecting like the odd person was getting eaten. No, they were killing each other for food at the end.
I wonder in our group of friends,
oh fuck,
how long we'd last. Who we'd eat first. I mean, I know who we'd eat first.
I can't see anyone actually giving the energy to eat anyone for food. Like, oh, fuck it. It's too much effort.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go crawl off and die.
Oh, yeah. We'd all have to die at the same time.
Yeah.
Group suicide. I couldn't watch it. I couldn't watch you guys
just wasting away.
Nope. That's it.
Oh, my God. Okay. Picturing us just freezing. I picture the end of The Shining when he's out in the maze, like the frozen face with the icicle eyebrows and everything. That'd be us.
We'd have to pose ourselves in an interesting way. So when we're found, everyone's like, what the fuck happened here?
We'd pose like the
Even
Avengers.
In death. Assholes.
Avengers pose. We'll look cool. We'll look like we were saving the world while we died, but we'd have to stand there for hours.
What else are you going to do on that
I guess nothing. Shiver. So what's your book?
Oh, yeah.
Our next podcast pick, next thing to read. Hopefully we like it just as much.
I hear good things.
Excellent.
So Halloween is approaching, and I wanted something scary. And what scares me more than anything is home invasion.
Oh.
Always think.
I thought it was WebMD.
Oh, you know what? WebMD isn't a joke. I could have cancer. So mine is called The Cabin at the End of the World by Paul Tremblay. Came out this year, I believe.
Nice.
7-year-old Wen and her parents Eric and Andrew are vacationing at a remote cabin on a quiet New Hampshire lake. Their closest neighbors are more than 2 miles in either direction along a dirt road. One afternoon, as Wen catches grasshoppers in the front yard, a stranger unexpectedly appears in the driveway. Leonard is the largest man Wen has ever seen, but he is young. That's a scary sentence.
Yeah.
Friendly and wins her over almost instantly. No. Leonard and Wen talk and play until Leonard abruptly apologizes and tells Wen none of what's going to happen is your fault.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh. 3 more strangers then arrive at the cabin carrying unidentifiable, menacing objects. As Wen sprints inside to warn her parents, Leonard calls out, "Your dads won't want to let us in, but they have to. We need your help to save the world."
What? Where is this going?
Thus begins an unbearably tense, gripping tale of paranoia, sacrifice, apocalypse, and survival that escalates to a shattering conclusion. One in which the fate of a loving family and quite possibly all of humanity are entwined.
All right. Well, fuck, that took a twist, and that's just the description. All right.
None of what's going to happen is your fault.
Yeah. Oh, fuck.
No. That's it.
That's what you want to hear from the stranger on your driveway?
Isolated cabin, check. Strangers outside, check.
Perfect. All good things.
Not
bad things that are, good to read about. Apocalyptic, maybe? Is that what it said?
Yeah.
Fucking right.
Are they killers? Are they saving the world?
Find out next time.
Tell us.
On the Book Coven.
See ya.
Thanks for joining us. I have been Chelsea.
I have been Lillian.
And
Later,
Take it easy.